Kính thưa bà Trương Như Phụng, chị Trương Hiền, anh Lê Bá Hoàng cùng toàn thể đại tang quyến, quý vị hội đồng đại diện cộng đồng, quý vị đại diện các hội đồng quân đội, cảnh sát quốc gia và hội ái hữu đồng lương, quý vị thanh hào nhân sĩ và toàn thể quan khách đang hiện diện ở đây. Khi được tin đại tá Trương Như Phụng đã về cõi Phật vào sáng ngày thứ Năm 13 tháng 5 2021, vừa qua với vợ và gia đình chân thành chia buồn và chia sẻ nỗi niềm thương nhớ đại tá với bà Trương Như Phụng, anh chị Lê Bá Hoàng và toàn thể đại tang quyến. Sự ra đi của đại tá Trương Như Phụng là một mất mát to lớn, không những cho gia đình của đại tá mà còn là một mất mát lớn lao cho cả tập thể của quân nhân quân lực Việt Nam Cộng Hòa, các hội đoàn quân đội và dân sự ở thành phố Houston nói riêng và khắp nơi trên thế giới nói chung. Đại tá Trương Như Phụng đã để lại cho chúng ta hình ảnh của một người quân nhân mẫu mực, hết lòng phục vụ cho đất nước.
An toàn. Kính mời nhân viên nhà đoàn vui lòng đưa lính cứu trở về vị trí và mở nắp lính cứu.
Vũ khí. Phu nhân. Vâng.
Sau đây là nghi lễ truy hiệu của đại tá Trương Như Phụng. Bắt đầu.
Yêu. Chào tay. Chào.
Nhạc truy hiệu. Tuyên đọc tiểu sử và tâm trạng của cố đại tá Trương Như Phụng của quân nhân chú ý. Nghiêm. Cựu đại tá Trương Như Phụng sinh ngày 10 tháng 1 năm 1934 tại Thừa, Thiên, Huế, Trung Phần, Việt Nam. Ông sống trong một gia đình có truyền thống chống cộng và theo đạo Phật giáo. Thuở thiếu thời, ông theo học trường trung học Việt Anh ở Huế và sau này được đổi tên là trường Nguyễn Tri Phương. Khi lên đề nhị cấp, ông theo học trường Khai Định, nay là trường Quốc học Huế. Năm 1952, ông thi đỗ tú tài 1. Ông chọn con đường binh nghiệp và tình nguyện theo học khóa 8 trường Võ Bị Đà Lạt với số quân A 54 trên 203 989. Tháng 6 năm 1953, ông tốt nghiệp hạng ưu với cấp bậc thiếu úy hiện dịch. Ông được thuyên chuyển đến phục vụ các đơn vị bộ binh và lần lượt nắm các chức vụ như trung đội trưởng, đại đội trưởng và phiếu đoàn trưởng. Năm 1953, ông kết hôn với bà Lê Thị Nam. Năm 1955, được thăng cấp trung úy. Năm 1957, ông được thăng cấp đại úy và thuyên chuyển về Bộ Tư lệnh Quân đoàn 1, Quân khu 1 và được đề cử giữ chức vụ trưởng phòng tổng quản trị Quân đoàn 1. Và thời gian ngắn sau đó, ông được đề cử giữ chức vụ chỉ huy trưởng Trung tâm Hành quân Quân đoàn 1. Năm 1963, được thăng cấp thiếu tá và được bổ nhiệm làm trưởng ty cảnh sát tỉnh Khánh Hòa. Và cùng năm 63, ông được thuyên chuyển về trường Hạ sĩ quan Đồng Đế Nha Trang và giữ chức vụ liên đoàn trưởng liên đoàn khoa sinh. Năm 1965, ông được thăng cấp trung tá. Đến năm 1967, ông được thuyên chuyển về lại Bộ Tư lệnh Quân đoàn 1 và Quân khu 1 với chức vụ quân trấn trưởng quân trấn Đà Nẵng. Và sau một thời gian đó, ông được chỉ định giữ chức vụ chánh văn phòng tòa đại biểu Trung Phận. Năm 1968, ông được thăng cấp đại tá và được Bộ Tổng tham mưu bổ nhiệm chức vụ chỉ huy trưởng Trung tâm huấn luyện Hoa Cầm Đà Nẵng cho đến ngày 30 tháng 4 1975. Chào tay, chào.
Liên, trái phải, quay.
Phát. Tao diện, Nghi. Chúng tôi trân trọng kính chào phái đoàn của Hòa thượng Thích Nguyên Hạnh, quý vị đại đức tăng ni và phái đoàn hộ niệm quân chủ Việt Nam tiến vào vị trí hành lễ để cử hành lễ nhập quan và phát tang.
Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Buổi lễ nhập liệm và thọ tang của hương linh Việt Nam Phật tử Trương Như Phùng Pháp Danh Nguyên Minh đặt dưới sự chứng minh và chủ lễ của Hòa thượng Thích Nguyên Hạnh, Viện chủ Trung tâm Phật giáo Chùa Việt Nam, cùng tháp tùng chư tôn hòa thượng, chư thượng tọa, đại đức tăng ni đến từ các từ viện, các chùa, các tu viện tại thành phố Houston và vùng phụ cận. Đến đây, chúng con xin cung thỉnh Hòa Thượng bắt đầu cho lễ.
And the fact that so many people felt about him the same way I do warms my heart. I've always been proud to call TRào my grandfather, because for as long as I can remember, he has fought for what he believes in. He is someone who loves his homeland, his country, and always wanted to lend a helping hand. He was always fighting against crimes against humanity, the injustices that he learned about that were occurring in Vietnam, and would immediately take action. As a child, I would assist him in typing up and revising his letters and speeches to heads of states, politicians, even the President of the United States of America. Just anyone that would listen or not listen. His actions spoke louder than words. The constant pings of the typewriter was common background noise, just like his baritone voice practicing speeches for various events. It was a certainty that his weekends would be spent protesting the latest cause or rallying people to get behind a new movement that would improve the Houston community for those that had fled Vietnam and now call Houston their home. I often tell my friends that you will only ever find the South Vietnamese flag here, the yellow flag with the 3 red stripes. In Houston, because my grandfather would never allow the Vietnamese Communist flag to be raised here. He fought each business, school, political building that would fly that flag. Only the flag representing a free Vietnam, a better Vietnam, would wave in the wind. Even when he was starting to have mobility issues, he still made sure that he would attend protests. I remember being told that he had fallen at a protest in Washington, hurt his knee, and had blood dripping down his leg, yet he continued onward. I was scared for him and concerned that due to his age, his body couldn't take such demands. We started trying to tell him that he needs to hold back, to stop going. Let the young ones go in his stead. But no matter what we or anyone said, he never listened. He stated it was his duty to continue to fight. As long as he could walk, as long as his 2 legs worked and could carry him one step further, he would continue. This was the motto he lived by. By now you can tell that I idolize my grandfather. Sorry. While others wrote about heroes of history, game changers, our current political or celebrity figures, I wrote about my grandfather. My college applications were about how I wanted to be able to make a change like he did. How his perseverance and relentless need to take back his homeland was a driving force in his life. How he loved and cared for his country, for his countrymen, and mourned the loss of his home. How he was always ready and willing to lend a helping hand when others needed it. His stamina to fight for a free Vietnam, an unwavering belief that one day he would be able to return to a free Vietnam was astounding. That single-minded focus was what made him who he was, made him a hero. I knew that I could never have accomplished what he was able to do in this short time here on earth. But I wanted to be someone that he was proud to call his granddaughter. Because I was so proud to be able to call my grandfather. I cannot express the devastation I felt when the doctors first advised me of his condition. It was as if all noise ceased to exist. And there was just a buzzing, white noise in its place. This man was our rock, our leader, our foundation. A monument that could not be plowed down. Guns, war, a treacherous journey across an open ocean to an unknown land couldn't fell him, but cancer would. Where's the justice in that, I cried. The moment I landed, we went straight to my childhood home to be with my grandfather. I couldn't believe how frail he had gotten in such a short period. Tears immediately started, the emotions overwhelming. I was sad, angry, just felt all the emotions of the spectrum. But as the weeks progressed, and I saw the outpouring of love and concern from the Vietnamese community, those feelings lessened. He gave us all while alive. He loved his country. He loved his homeland and fought, blood, sweat, and tears daily to make it free. He lived each day to the fullest, doing what he could to make change happen. He lived a good life, a great life. What most may or may not realize is that quietly behind him, at all these protests, events, obligations, was my grandmother. Through the 68 years of marriage, she was by his side, supporting him, taking care of him, and was his foundation. He had been hospitalized a few times before, and being that we were dealing with COVID, family members were not allowed in. This gutted my grandmother. She worried that he would be so scared because she wasn't by his side. When I called in to speak to him, the first thing he would say was, Emma. He only knew and wanted my grandmother. That first time in, they had to eventually tie him down because he fought tooth and nail trying to find her, to return to her. He was lost without her. The hospital quickly realized an exception needed to be made to let her in. She tirelessly would wake up each morning to pack his belongings and food to bring to him so that she could sit by his side and be with him day in and day out. He was her world and she was his. My mom was correct when she said that only my grandmother could get his attention. He only responded to her voice. You would regularly hear him call out, Em ơi, em đâu rồi? They even had to move a painting of the two of them, one of my grandfather and grandmother, and hang it on the wall by the foot of his bed so that he knew he was home and not in a hospital because he didn't want to be away from her. In the end, we told him it was okay to leave, to pass on the burden, to be at peace, knowing that his ideals of patriotism lives on through those he has helped, those he has fought alongside, and those he mentored. That my grandmother would be taken care of, and he didn't have anything to worry about. You see, around 4:15 a.m., I realized the time was near. Like my mom stated, we woke up everyone, made phone calls to all the necessary people, video calls to Vietnam, and all the relatives that had left previously, to let them say goodbye, to let them see his face one last time. But he wouldn't leave. He continued to fight. He continued to hold on and remain on this earth. It was as if he was yelling out, give me more time with my loved ones, more time to make a difference, more time to fight for a free Vietnam, more time to help my brethren. He couldn't let go. He couldn't give up. But we had to beg him. We begged him to let go. We begged him to stop being in pain, be at ease, go on to a better place. He was a fighter to the very end, doing his hardest to continue to stay with us, not giving an inch. He continued to live his motto to his last breath. He left this world with an impact and graced us a life of opportunity, love, and unity. Ông ngoại, you will always be my hero and remembered and loved. You don't have to worry about a thing. We will take care of ông ngoại. You've done more than enough. We will take it from here. So please be at ease and rest in peace. Know that there will only ever be a yellow flag with 3 red stripes floating here in Houston, because you did that. You were never able to set foot back in Vietnam again, but rest assured, Vietnam knew you. I love you so much. You will always be in my heart, always be my idol, always be my pillar of strength and justice. And I will always choose you to be my grandfather in any life that I may live. Goodbye for now. Come on.
Đây là cái proclamation từ văn phòng thị trưởng của thị trưởng Sylvester Turner. Proclamation in memory Colonel Trương Như Phùng. The city of Houston is dedicated to such outstanding individuals who have enriched our community with their many accomplishments. We are deeply saddened by the recent loss of South Vietnamese Army Colonel Trương Như Phùng, who passed away on May 13, 2021. He was born in Thừa, Thiên, Vietnam on January 10, 1934. In 1954, Trương Như Phùng proudly enlisted in the Đà Lạt Army Academy Training Center. Prior to the fall of Vietnam, Colonel Trương Như Phùng was commanding officer for Hòa Cầm Da Nang Center, Da Nang City Military Training Center, and finally, military governor of Da Nang City. He was discharged in April 1975 after the fall of South Vietnam into the communist regime. Upon arrival in Houston in May of 1979, Colonel Trương Như Phùng devoted most of his time for social and cultural activities among the Vietnamese community. He also devoted efforts for democracy and freedom in Vietnam. He held the position as the president of the Federation Vietnamese Veterans in 1997. May the family and friends of Colonel Trương Như Phùng find peace and comfort in the lifetime of memories they have shared with him. A memorial will take place on May 19, 2021 to honor his life. The city of Houston